We were greeting.
Yeah,
we were
greeting
hosting.
at the door.
We were hosting in the auditorium, and Craig comes in. He's got a smile on his face, like from here to here. And he said, I have something to tell you. We are going to do a young adult ministry. And he used the word ministry, which is a big deal. And I cried. I mean, I did. I just literally started crying because it was answered prayer.
My name is Mark Johnson. It's my wife, Kimberly. We've been attending the Bridge for about 10 years. And together we've worked in student ministry for 19 years
time.
or so. And the last 5 was in young adults.
We saw the need for so many reasons to begin the young adult ministry or college ministry. And our group started with 11 in our living room. And the last count was over 70 meeting at the Bridge. When we got very close to all of these high school kids that we had our entire time at the Bridge, they had nothing else after high school was over. It was like they felt lost. They had, spent so many years cultivating their own faith, their own belief system, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, you're an adult, come on to worship. There's really nothing else for you.
Yeah, can't go to youth group on Wednesday nights. And some of them kind of felt they wanted to still for the first year. Can we go? No, you really can't. A lot of our former students didn't have parents that were involved in their life.
Or church.
Yeah. And some of them didn't even like the fact that they were going to church. So we all of a sudden became what they call their church parents,
Yeah.
So we started that and at our house. We met on Wednesday nights and she would feed them. She always made a dinner.
I always cooked dinner.
But it was easy then because we only had 11 or so.
Yeah.
And then we rapidly grew.
Really, our heart was to have the next step for all these high schoolers. And so that's how it was born. The need was so great. And I really feel like that God's just started planting those seeds, even in them when they were juniors and seniors, connecting to us as we could take that to the next level. There's life-changing stories in that group. We've seen everything from those that came in as self-professed atheists. We've seen so many that didn't have good relationships with their families, so they needed a place to belong. So many were looking for their own faith. My mom and dad say this, or my grandparents taught me this, and watching them blossom and grow and serve has been phenomenal. They are now sharing their faith, and one of them stands up every single Sunday at the Bridge Church and prays for people. And it makes me cry every time because that person felt completely ostracized until they stepped into the group.
As iron sharpens iron, we're supposed to just pour into each other and help each other in spiritual walk. And also remind them that the Bible does remind us to say that don't let anyone look down on you because of your age, because they have a service to offer and something to offer to the church just like anybody else.
A lot of times it's not the issue that students or young adults think that people are looking down on them. I really don't think that's the issue. I think they have it figured out, but they don't have the relationship down. And so when you start really telling them who Jesus is in their lives and they make the decision to let him in, they make the decision to follow, changes everything.
So we have a grandson. His name is Everett. He's 2.5 right now. And my hope is that he will be taken under somebody's wing his whole life at the church and go into a youth ministry and then a young adult ministry where he can then turn around and do just like we did and pour back into that age group again, where people will see the fruit of that. But our hope is that God will just work on his heart his whole life.
A specific prayer that I've been praying for him before he was even born is that he would be a warrior for Christ. And I really believe that everything that he can be will be because of what he grows into through this church and through God's church and through the ministry of the church. And I am so excited that I know and I believe that by the time he is 18 years old and has graduated from high school, he would no doubt know that his next step is being part of an young adult ministry, because that's the next part. I want him to be and become for the sake of the world. You know, that's what we say. So I believe that we will see this opportunity that's starting out as the garden become a reach and a movement within our church for every season of 18 to 30. This is answered prayer. The garden is answered prayer. We and so many other people that know how we feel have been praying for this specifically. This has been a need. If we don't see that value, then we don't really care about the long term of the Bridge Church. The long term of the Bridge Church is training up people to want to serve and to want to pour into the church for the good of the community, for the good of the world. And so I think that would be my challenge, is don't think about what it brings to your life as an over 30 right now. What is this going to mean to the future of the church?